nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow. We've got so far to go. When you feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you, yeah, and dance you into the. I wanna rock with you, yeah, and we can rock the night away. And when the groove is getting gone, you know that love survives, and we can rock forever. Oh.
I wanna rock with you, I wanna groove with you.
In just 50 years, George Mason University has gone from a modest campus to a regional powerhouse with global impact. From an inaugural class of 17 to an inclusive community, 250,000 strong. From an underdog to legends who shattered expectations twice. Welcome to the Mason Nation, with 10,000 faculty and staff supporting 39,000 students making their mark on the world. We're scholars with grit, breaking boundaries and powering the region's economy. We're researchers working together to combat the world's biggest challenges. We're educators invested in our students' success while earning the highest of honors. At 50, we're just hitting our stride. Let's get to work building the future.
It is Mason's time.
Good morning, everyone. One more time. Good morning, everyone. Oh, that was so much better. I'm Rick Davis, the Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts here at Mason, and it's truly my pleasure and my honor to welcome you here today for this incredible milestone. Mason is 50. Today, we will celebrate 50 years of educating students, 50 years of alumni achievements, and 50 years of community support. We will reflect on how a vision became an idea and how that idea became a reality. We will reflect on the last 50 years and look forward to the next. Now, today is also Mason Vision Day, and Mason Vision Day, which I call the holiday formerly known as Giving Day, is a time for the entire Mason Nation to come together to support a deserving cause. And this year, I am proud to announce that we are supporting the Green Machine Ensembles. That was my little gestural allusion to the fight song, which we're going to do later together, okay? I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I want to ask you that you please help me in welcoming a number of our distinguished guests from the political arena who are with us today. Congressman Jerry Connolly, the Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth of Virginia, Amy Gudera. But wait, there's more. Delegate Charnielle Herring and Senator Jeremy McPike, both proud Mason alumni. Delegates Mark Keem and Michelle Maldonado. Senator Dick Saslaw. Fairfax County Executive Brian Hill. Our Braddock District Supervisor James Walkinshaw. And the Mayor of the City of Fairfax, David Meyer. We have our university's leadership with us today, our president, Dr. Gregory Washington, and Mason's 7th president, Ann Holton. Our rector, also a proud Mason alum, Jimmy Hazel. Our provost, Mark Ginsberg, and our senior vice president, Carol Kissel. And Chief of Staff Ken Walsh. We have a great representation from our wonderful volunteer leadership here at Mason. We have the chair of the George Mason University Foundation, Terry Kofer-Byrne, another alum. And the chair of the Alumni Association, who is, yes, another alum, President Sumit Srivastava. I want to also offer a very sincere welcome to our former members and current members of the Board of Visitors, Board of Trustees, the Mason Alumni Association Board, and the members of the President's Council who are here today. And a special thanks with a little Vision Day reminder to Doc Nix and his group for leading us in that second line to the 50th anniversary stage. Now, the story of George Mason University is the story of a place that has grown from a branch campus of UVA to the Commonwealth's largest public research university. This is a university that anchors the region, and it is a global powerhouse. And here's how it all began.
This, of course, has been a dream of many of the citizens of the city here since the way back when the city fathers decided that securing this land would be appropriate place to invite a university, and this is just the beginning of a long-range program.
There's an old Chinese proverb that says all journeys begin with one step. For George Mason University, the first step was taken in 1949 by the University of Virginia's Board of Visitors. The board approved the opening of an adult education extension in Northern Virginia. Step number 2 came in 1957 when the board approved the establishment of a 2-year branch campus to be called University College.
It's sort of astonishing to see the university today and to imagine that it started out in an abandoned elementary school in 1957. The student body never totaled any more than 200 at Bailey's Crossroads. Once we started here in 1964 in Fairfax, we actually moved out the entire school in a day and a half in 2 moving vans.
Now called George Mason College, the institution and its nearly 200 students relocated to Fairfax, where its 4 new buildings are open for business. The north, south, east, and west buildings are the first college facilities in the Commonwealth with air conditioning. UVA's Loren Thompson is named Chancellor of George Mason College. His mission is to ready this new college to become an independent regional university.
Loren Thompson, working with Till Hazel, buy an additional 421 acres over a 3-year period from 66 to 69. In order to sell this to the local jurisdictions, Thompson suggests that for $4.50, the price of a steak dinner at the time, for each Northern Virginia resident, they could buy enough land to build a quality regional university.
At the urging of Thompson, student activists, legislators, and business leaders, the General Assembly agrees the road to independence is now complete. On April 7, 1972, Governor Linwood Holton signs legislation establishing George Mason University as an independent member of the Commonwealth system of colleges and universities.
Friends, please welcome former Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth and Mason's 7th President, Ann Holton, daughter of Governor Linwood Holton, to reflect on the impact of her father signing the bill.
Wow, you all look beautiful. This is wonderful. Thank you, Dean Davis. What a great day for George Mason University. I have had the pleasure of watching Mason, observing Mason from so many perspectives, as a citizen of this great Commonwealth, as First Lady of Virginia, as Virginia's Education Secretary, and as a Mason faculty member, and I had the honor of serving as Mason's interim president. No matter the vantage point, this place never ceases to amaze me. It is a source of real pride for me that my family has played a meaningful role in the rise of this university. I was just a teenager when my dad, Governor Linwood Holton, signed the legislation separating what was then George Mason College from the University of Virginia. My father recognized the educational and economic impact that a major institution of higher education could have in the Northern Virginia community and on the entire Commonwealth. He appointed Mason's first Board of Visitors, an esteemed group that included many of the university's founding fathers to whom we owe so much debt today. But my family pride in Mason goes well beyond the stroke of a pen 50 years ago. This university stands for the same values that my father and our whole family have championed our entire lives: equality and opportunity, access and excellence. When my father took office in 1970 as governor of Virginia, the era of massive resistance to integration had not yet ended in Virginia. My dad knew that we needed to chart a new course. In his inaugural address, he proclaimed, "The era of defiance is behind us." Let us now endeavor to make today's Virginia a model of race relations. He appointed African Americans right from the get-go to prominent roles in his administration. He worked for fair hiring practices for minorities and women, and he enrolled us kids in predominantly African American schools so that we could help lead by example. Mason has long since emerged as a state and national leader championing those same values of inclusivity and opportunity, fairness and equity. My dad, who passed away last October at the ripe old age of 98, was so proud of this university and what it stands for. And let me tell you, so am I. Happy anniversary, George Mason University, and congratulations to all of us.
Thank you, Ann, for that inspiring perspective. And I invite anybody who hasn't traveled over to the west side of the Fairfax campus to linger on Holton Plaza, dedicated just a few years ago in honor of Linwood Holton. And we had a wonderful ceremony with him and the family. And so that's a very meaningful memory of the Holton family permanently here at George Mason. I now have the honor of introducing our Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth. Please join me in welcoming Amy Rogstad Gudera.
Good morning. Thank you, Dean. It is such a delight to be here to celebrate today, and congratulations to George Mason University on 50 years of growth and impact. The governor sends his best wishes as well as appreciation for the central role that Mason plays in preparing all Virginians and more Virginians for success in our economy, our democracy, and in our communities. If we are to make Virginia the best place to live, work, and to raise a family, we know we need to be the best place also to learn. And Mason is central to that goal. And you know, the best part about this party is that it isn't just a walk down memory lane, although that's really important to do and exciting to do, but that this is truly a celebration for the future and about all that's possible in the future. You know, yesterday I had the pleasure of taking part in the groundbreaking of the Arlington campus of the Fuse Center. And this new interdisciplinary center is going to educate the next generation of innovators in business, in law, in government, and now in engineering and computing. And yesterday it was so clear with the energy in the room and the passion that Mason's role as being at the center of the tech innovation and the future of the tech economy in Northern Virginia is real. Whoops. And that was for effect. Whoops. Can you all hear me? Okay, we'll keep on the word tech. It all goes to you know where. So there you go. So there you have it. We will be the leader. We are the leader, and Mason will be in the center of this entire tech revolution and stop that kind of thing from happening. But you know, being a cheerleader for George Mason is not just a job for me, and it's a job that I really am thrilled to be in and to follow Ann Holton in. But this is extremely personal for me too, because Mason is actually why I became a Virginian 27 years ago. My husband and I were newlyweds. He was planning to go to law school, and he was unbelievably intrigued and attracted to this new and unique law and economics program that was being started here, this whole idea of innovation and bringing together just the leadership of Dean Manny and just renowned world experts in law and economics and these theorists and practitioners that were all coming together here and thinking about how do you approach the world and the study of law in a different way. And so he enrolled, and we spent 3 years walking back and forth to that escalator in the department store. And Bill and I are unbelievably proud and stalwart supporters in all ways of the law school and of this university because of the impact it had on our lives, and we know the impact it's having on lives of Virginians, but also the world. And we are so proud of the impact and the growth and the successes over the past 50 years, and including recently that the law school was recognized as a top 30 law school in the nation, which is just incredible. So I just want to end my very quick remarks by saying congratulations to the entire George Mason family and all the partners who have made the successes of the last 50 years possible, but even more important, have made the opportunities for the next 50 years a reality. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Secretary Gudera, for your grace under pressure as we, and also for your wonderful remarks. On February 3rd, Virginia's General Assembly honored George Mason University with a rare center aisle ceremony in honor of our 50th anniversary. Let's watch.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate, the House of Delegates concurring, that the General Assembly hereby commend George Mason University on the occasion of its 50th anniversary.
GMU is a Tier 1 top research university and is recognized for its 121% growth of research funding over the last decade. 87% of the 2020 graduates were employed in positions related to their field of study. And you'll be happy to know that Mason's network of 27 small business centers throughout the Commonwealth serve more than 10,000 customers in fiscal year 2021, providing no-cost counseling and training services to entrepreneurs. Mr. Speaker, I ask that the rest of the body rise and join me in congratulating George Mason University on the 50 years of academic excellence.
It is Mason's time.
And a special thank you to Mason alums Delegate Charnielle Herring and Senator Jeremy McPike for being the chief patrons of the proclamation. Delegate and Senator, would you stand and be recognized? And I noticed that you're right on the center aisle too, so that's perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for your advocacy. We remember that 3 weeks ago, just 3 short weeks ago, Mason lost one of our founding fathers, Mr. Till Hazel. Till was responsible for much of the growth of Fairfax County, and his impact on Mason cannot be overstated. He established the George Mason University Foundation and served as its chair and as a trustee. He served twice as rector and was the first person to receive the Mason Medal. He was instrumental in the creation of the Fairfax campus, and he helped Mason establish a law school at Arlington. We cannot celebrate 50 years of Mason without celebrating the legacy of Till Hazel. Please join me now in welcoming Till's son and our current rector, Jimmy Hazel.
You know, when I was in law school at George Mason in 1984, Nobody ever saw this coming. This is great. Good morning, fellow patriots. We are all patriots, no matter where you're from, no matter where you started. Today we are patriots, and we are here celebrating George Mason's 50th anniversary. As Greg Washington is fond of saying, it's Mason's time. So I decided to do a little research so that we could all learn something today, because when you're at an R1 university, that's what you do, right? Research. So my research findings are as follows. To celebrate William and Mary's 50th anniversary, you had to be alive in 1743. To celebrate Georgetown's 50th anniversary, you had to be alive in 1839. To celebrate UVA's 50th anniversary, you had to be alive in 1869. To celebrate George Washington University, you had to be alive in 1871. To celebrate the University of Maryland, it was 1906. And finally, for our neighboring school down 81, to celebrate Virginia Tech's 50th anniversary, you had to be alive in 1922, a full 100 years ago. So the outcome of my research, I feel pretty darn young, and I feel pretty darn proud about George Mason University. I consider the project a success, but mostly I appreciate that we're able to come together at an event like this, a 50th anniversary milestone. So many of our sister institutions is ancient history on their campuses. It is Mason's time. It is just another example of how at Mason, we're writing our own success story. We're not reciting somebody else's success story. I'm fortunate enough to have been, like many of us here today, part of that George Mason success story for a long time. First as an observer, and for those who have heard the stories, yes, I did hold the ladder for my dad to prune the trees on University Drive because nobody else was doing it. First as an observer, and then in a variety of roles. I grew up at the intersection of Braddock and 123, and I watched this place grow up along with me as I grew up. And it was really quite astounding. We talked about this school at every level at the dinner table almost every night. And now, look where we are. Mason is the largest and most diverse university in the state. Mason is a Tier 1 research university. Mason has more than 200,000 alumni. Mason is the top university in the country, less than 50 years old. Oh, wait a minute, we need to scratch that one. This is an extra special occasion for me because it is a special occasion for my family. I feel like by honoring the university, we are also honoring my dad. Dad passed away last month at the age of 91. I kept him informed on everything that we do here, every month, every year, so that he could keep up with the things that we were accomplishing. My dad loved this place, and as many of you know, he helped the university secure more than 30 parcels of land, some 421 acres for the Fairfax campus. He brokered the deal in the 1970s that resulted in Mason acquiring a law school, a school that I later attended. He and other Mason visionaries championed Mason throughout the region and state with the business community, public officials, and anyone else who would listen. He served many roles at Mason, including 2 stints as rector and as a member of the inaugural board of visitors appointed by Governor Holton. Thank you very much, Ann. I know that there was only one Till Hazel, but I look around the Johnson Center and I see so many people with the same brand of tireless commitment and patriot spirit that he displayed every day of his life. I find it moving, I find it humbling, and I find it reassuring that this place is in good hands for decades to come. Thanks so much for coming out today to enjoy the celebration, and remember, it is Mason's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rector Hazel. That feels weird. Thank you, Jimmy. That was fantastic. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Trishana Bowden, President of the George Mason University Foundation and Vice President of Advancement and Alumni Relations. Trishana?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again, Dean Davis, and what an honor it is to follow you, Rector Hazel. It is, I'm really honored to be here celebrating with you all. This is a joyous, monumental occasion. You only turn 50 once, or so I heard. I mean, it's got years to come before that happens to me. Actually, it happened 2 years ago. As Dean Davis said, I'm Trishana Bowden, and I am truly proud to serve as your Vice President of Advancement and Alumni Relations, as well as the President of the foundation that Till Hazel made possible. Thank you so much to our members of the Board of Visitors, Board of Trustees, our Alumni Association Board, and of course, our university leadership for all being here today. Also, I'd like to welcome and thank all of you, and thank especially our elected officials in attendance today. We are a proud state institution, and our work would not be possible without your public service and your dedication to this great Commonwealth. So thank you so much. From our beginning as part of University of Virginia to today, Virginia's largest research university, and again, most diverse, one thing has remained constant: the unwavering support from our alumni, our faculty, staff, students, and friends, and members of our community. Unwavering support, but also grit and determination. Over 50 years ago, a group of business leaders realized that a world-class university would become the economic engine of this region. And today, we celebrate that vision. Those founders of Mason took a blank slate and laid the foundation for this incredible university, instilling innovation at its very core. Their actions and their vision, frankly, took audacity. They saw the investment possibly having a top-tier university sitting in proximity to Washington, D.C., and serving a growing urban community. They truly had a vision. They saw the potential for growth in this area. They saw, over a half-century ago, the great potential and the endless possibility. They invested in Mason, fought for their vision, and left a legacy we are all benefiting from today. Their vision and legacy continue through philanthropic giving to Mason today. Families, friends, alumni, and businesses continue to invest in Mason. You all continue to invest in Mason, especially today with Mason Vision Day. We see this vision reflected in places like Hazel Hall, in Dewberry Hall, the Schar School for Policy and Government, the Vogenal School of Engineering, the Peterson Family Health Science Building, the John Toops Instructional Laboratory for Civil, Environmental, and Infrastructure Engineering. This vision is in scholarships endowed by your and their generosity that have supported countless numbers of students over the last 50 years. It is in the endowed chairs, professorships, research grants, and pledges that support the hard work of our faculty. We see this vision in the performing arts and athletic facilities that welcome the community to our campuses every day. And I see it today in all of you for simply just being here. You all recognize that 50 years is an incredible accomplishment, and it is worth celebrating. 50 years of achievement, growth, success, and hard work. 50 years of students becoming alumni and leaving their mark on this institution and benefiting from an audacious vision. If this incredible institution is where we are at 50 years, just imagine with me what we can accomplish in the next 50 years with your continued support. So thank you. Thank you to our founders for having a vision. Thank you to every supporter, student, graduate, friend, parent, donor, leader, patriot, elected official. The last 50 years would not have been possible without you. I can't wait to see what our next 50 years hold, especially with your continued support and generosity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trishana. A university exists to educate students, and this cannot happen without the great contributions of its faculty and staff. Throughout our 50 years, our faculty have won Nobel Prizes, advanced cancer research. We even created our own COVID test. They have participated in far-flung artistic performances and exhibitions, written and conducted symphonies, and made Mason a household name. Our staff has worked tirelessly to make Mason the great place it is for our students to live and learn, and their dedication to Mason every day never wavers. The faculty and staff who are listed in your program have been serving for more than 40 years. If you've been here for more than 40 years, or if you are an emeritus faculty member, please stand so we can recognize you. All over the hall. Bravi. Bravi tutti. I would like to also ask you to please join me in congratulating the following members of Mason Nation for more than 50 years of service. And we're going to put up their pictures on the screen here. Jane Flynn, Don Gallier, Robert Pasnak, and James Treffel. Let's have one more round of applause for all of Mason's faculty and staff. Thank you. Now, education happens in the classroom, of course, through internships, through performances and exhibitions and athletic events, and through real-world experiences. Here to share their experiences as Mason students are Natalia Canos, the undergraduate student body president, and Stephen Zoe, president of the Graduate and Professional Student Association.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Natalia Canas, and I serve as a student body president. I am a double major in government and international politics and conflict analysis and resolution, and I'm from Jos, Nigeria. I'm so grateful to be able to speak about Mason being 50 today. 50 years is no joke, and though I have only been here for 4 years, I can tell you that there's something special about this university. It is not simply its diversity, community, or even the academic accomplishments it has garnered over the years. For me, what makes Mason special is its ability to find the greatness in everyone. That kind of greatness that you don't see in yourself. I believe that Mason is an incubator for greatness. Now, Mason has previously been described as Virginia's best-kept secret. I remember that as a senior in high school, I was passionate about government and international relations. One day, my dad called me to our living room and pointed to the TV and said, "Look, whenever a guest is invited to talk about global issues, they always come from George Mason." I did not know about the secret of Mason at the time, and I had no idea of what an impact this university would make in my life. I'm glad to announce that the secret of Mason is out. A campus that has taken pride in being inclusive instead of exclusive and showing that doing so does not negate excellence. Now, Rome was not built in a day, and neither is Mason Nation. We have come such a long way, and there's still a lot left to accomplish. I, however, look to the future with optimism and excitement. Being able to sit in a lot of spaces with administrators, I'm excited to see where Mason is going. From Mason's master plan being kicked off and development happening in all our campuses, to President Washington's Mason, Virginia promise, and even to our developing and advancing sports teams. I'm giving a shout out to the rowing team. I am excited for the future of Mason, as I have no doubt that Mason will be making an impact in the years to come. I am so glad to be part of this journey. As patriots, let's march on brave and bold. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Zoe, and I'm a PhD student in industrial and organizational psychology here at George Mason University. I also serve as the president of our Graduate and Professional Student Association, also known as GAPSA, which serves to represent and be the governing body for our more than 10,000 graduate and professional students here at Mason. Now, I'm honored to be here for a few minutes to share a few words as part of the 50th anniversary celebration. I've only been here 3 years, but in that short time, I have been incredibly impressed and grateful of all the opportunities that Mason has offered to me and my fellow classmates in research, in teaching, in student engagement, and in career opportunities. Mason has always stood out to me as a top-tier research university, which comes with all of the research requirements, there's a lot of them, and all the funding and all of the resources that are required to produce high-quality research. But at the same time, there's a commitment to teaching excellence. There's teaching opportunities and resources for students to engage in teaching. And there's support for students no matter where they are or where they come from. It is this commitment to both high-quality research excellence and radical inclusivity that makes Mason stand out amidst its peers. Now, as GAPSA president, I serve on a variety of leadership committees to represent the graduate student voice here at Mason. And in those settings, I've been inspired to see just how dedicated our leadership is to student success. I've been part of discussions reflecting on the past 50 years of Mason and looking forward to our strategic plan for the next 50 years. And there's a lot of exciting things coming down the pipeline. New buildings, new research opportunities, and improved student support. Thank you for joining us today. Please enjoy the festivities. It's an honor to be here. Congratulations on 50 years.
Thank you, Natalia and Stephen, for your great remarks, and good luck with the rest of your semester, which is almost over. It's getting close. Now, when students graduate, of course, they achieve alumni status. And of course, alumni are the pride of every institution, Mason being no different. Many of you here today are proud Mason. If you're a Mason alum, just make a small noise. That was a big noise, but that's good. There are many of you here. In 2018, the George Mason University Alumni Association celebrated its 50th anniversary. But wait, how can an alumni association turn 50 before the university that graduated the alumni? Well, here's the answer. In 1968, a group of visionaries at the then George Mason College, which we saw on the screen before, recognized the value of an alumni association, and they created one. These graduates could not have imagined the organization would have grown to more than 210,000 alumni around the world. Please join me in welcoming Sumit Srivastava, the president of the George Mason University Alumni Association.
All right. Great. Thank you, Dean Davis, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today, but especially my fellow 220,000 Mason alums that we have today. So we're growing at 10K a pop, right? It's pretty fast. My Mason story, like so many Mason stories, is complete with twists and turns on the way to a degree. My story actually starts with my dad, who knew the importance of education. While a teen living in extreme poverty in India, he worked to save his money, but still needed the kindness of his friends and scholarship to attend one of the top engineering schools in the state and then graduate #1 in his class. He came to the U.S. for his master's degree, and almost 50 years ago, we ultimately settled here in Fairfax County, and only a few miles from the Fairfax campus, where he ultimately founded his business also. He worked at Mason as an adjunct in the computer science. He hired Mason graduates for his business, and he was an early member of Mason's Minority Advisory Board in the late 90s, which is now the University Life Advisory Board. So when my time came to do my undergrad, I chose UVA, right? I know, right? What was I thinking, right? And while I knew the value of education, I actually never attained my undergraduate degree. 4 years and lots of non-educational activities later, I came back home, and it was clear to me, that I wasn't in a place in life to continue the degree, nor, because of Dad's early stages of his business and what it takes to launch, were we in a financial place where I could continue to throw money after bad. So fast forward, how do you have an MBA from Mason if you don't have an undergraduate degree? Well, folks, that's where my Mason story begins. Mason was willing to work with me, and they listened. They listened when I walked through my life journey. They listened and explained where I was in life today and why I thought this was the right time now to proceed with my educational activities. And I did mention to them that I was ready to spend the next year or two trying to finish that BA in chemistry. Of course, I'd forgotten all the chemistry by this point, so I don't know how I was going to do that. And then try for the executive MBA program. But they listened. They valued the coursework I had taken, and maybe most importantly, they valued my industry experience that I was building, working now with my dad in his business, and hopefully having a small portion of the entrepreneurial mindset that he had rubbing off on me. So they listened and they understood that I was more than the undergraduate degree that I didn't have and took a chance on me. Because that's what Mason does, right? We don't turn away the student who didn't have a perfect record in high school. We find a way to support a senior who just needs one more semester to be the first in her family to graduate with a college degree. And we take a parent who didn't finish their degree earlier, but now wants to. We take them all and we give them the resources to succeed. Mason opens doors, Mason says yes, when others say no. Mason sees the possibilities, the what can be, right? The spark that just needs to be ignited to light the flame. And that is why I support this great university, through the board service, philanthropically, and most importantly, as an ambassador in our community. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Mason made me the person that I am today. And together, think of the number of lives we can change over the next 50 years. I'm Sumit Srivastava, and I'm a proud Mason patriot. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumit, for that great story and for all that you do for Mason. Now, recently, if you watched any of the games during March Madness, you might have been rooting for the St. Peter's Peacocks as they made their Cinderella run in the tournament. Well, long before the Peacocks made their run, our Patriots made theirs.
Brown trying to get to the glass, pushed off, 3-ball from Brown. It's no good! They've done it! They've done it! They've done it! The Patriots are going to the Final Four! They have upset UConn! The unbelievable story continues! The Patriots are going to Indianapolis! They have shocked the college basketball world!
Wow, does that give you chills? Please welcome back, Mason Nation, the starting guards from our 2006 Final Four team, Lamar Butler, whose image on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine is one of the enduring images of our run to the Final Four, and Fowler and Campbell, who led Mason in scoring during the tournament.
Oh, man. Hey, we tall, we got to lift the mic up. Who's responsible for fact-checking the stat? I don't think that Fowler was the leading scorer of the NCAA tournament. So we might need to revisit that. I'm sure. You want to lift it up?
Go ahead, man.
Oh, man. It feels good to be back. I know, Jen, you gave me a script, but Dr. Washington, I never really followed the script, so you guys just have to really bear with me. Mason Nation, how's everybody doing? It's funny, every March, we're forced to relive our Final Four run, and all you hear is, who's the next George Mason? Everybody's looking for the next George Mason. I think it's safe to say there'll never be another George Mason to ever come to the NCAA tournament. As I walked in, it was a feeling of nostalgia, because last time I was here, I go through the run, it's packed. Back then we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have Instagram, we barely had Facebook. It had just come out. You only had to be a student to be in Facebook, but we had YouTube. So remember, every game, we would come back and watch the clips on YouTube, and we'd see the fans, the administration, everybody in this facility just chanting, "Let's go, Mason." And that's something that I'll never forget, and that I'll personally cherish for the rest of my life. And if you bear with me, I'll go through each game. I remember, we got time, right? The Carolina game, Coach L did a great job of preparing us that tournament, but the first game against Michigan State, he showed us clips of them wearing football equipment in practice, and they practiced rebounding. And I don't know if you look at me, I look nothing like a football player. So it was just a very physical game, so the mindset was to be super physical. We did a great job being physical. Obviously, we won the game. The next game, North Carolina, Coach said, look, they think they're Superman, and we're their kryptonite. It was terrible. I know. Nobody laughed. We didn't either. I was like, little do we know, we have a guy who thinks he's Superman, this guy to my left. Y'all know him by Fowler and Campbell. We call him Shaq. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the game, but it was an incident in the game. Shaq got pushed down. Yeah, I'm gonna let him live this out for the rest of his life. So in the game, I remember Shaq gets pushed down, and the self-awareness to know that the camera is literally right there. He gives it the wink and the gun. I'm like, an NCAA tournament, bro? Just know we had lost. There'd been some problems in the locker room. And then we had Wichita State coming back home in the Verizon Center, and just a sold-out arena. Wichita State, obviously the win against UConn, being able to celebrate not just with our teammates, but the faculty, administration here, and obviously Mason Nation, the 20,000 fans, 20,000 plus Patriots fans, and a packed out Johnson Center. Those memories never go away, and that's something that I know personally I'll cherish forever at George Mason University. And that's just on the court. Off the court, if I may be transparent, now that we're leading in technology, one of the universities blazing the way with technology, and then the diversity, you just look to your left, to your right, and there's somebody that doesn't look like you or where you're from. But you look around. That really wasn't a question. It was more of like a do it, It's one of the reasons why I chose this university as a recruit out of high school. Come from Prince George's County, the diversity is something that I'm very proud of. And that's a testament to the leadership here and the student body that's been the last 50 years. So give yourself a round of applause. So as we celebrate 50 years of George Mason University, I'm proud to say that I'll bleed green and gold for the rest of my life, and I look forward to the next 50 years.
First off, hello, Mason Nation. There we go. To go back to what Lamar was saying about the wink during the North Carolina game, it was a fast break transition. I got the layup. I was fouled. It was an and one. Now, this just showed how relaxed and how much emotion and how much fun we were playing with. As soon as I saw the camera, it was a natural instinct just to, give that wink and that. Like, I was just having too much fun. And he's right. It's good that we did get the win, because if we didn't, I'm sure he would have talked about it and everybody else would have mentioned that. But no, we had a lot of fun. It was great. But I also want to, enjoy just the fact that, I'm back. I'm happy to be back at Mason. I actually just took a role with the Patriot Club as assistant director to the Patriot Club. Thank you. And it's like coming home. It's a continuation of the magic I felt here as a student athlete. My time at Mason has greatly impacted my career and my life. The people I met here, my teammates, coaches, fellow students, and Mason diehard fans pushed me to perform in the gym as much as it did in the classroom. I am grateful that I was able and now have the opportunity to be back at Mason with my new role. Like Lamar, I am proud to be part of this outstanding university, and I know that it's destined for greater things. On and off the court. And as Lamar will.
All right, everybody, I need a huge favor. Huge favor. Can you guys do it? Maybe a small favor. It's not huge. Everybody, you got me? Don't leave me hanging. You ready? So I need everybody to get on their feet right now. We're going to give a loud Mason Nation, George Mason University, warm welcome to our 8th president, Dr. Gregory Washington.
Thank you, Lamar and Falloran. Great to have you back. Great to have you here at Mason Nation. Isn't this a great time? It's a good time. So, good afternoon to everyone here in attendance. This day took 50 years in the making, and you are all here. Thank you so much for being here today. You know, before I get going here, when I took this job, I remember coming up and going up to the 5th floor of Merton, and there's a little balcony off of the office of the president, and you go on that balcony, and my wife Nicole's with me. Where's Nicole? There, I see you over there. Please give her a round of applause. And we go, and we're looking out, and I say, you know, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think we would be here at this point in time? She gave me this strange look, and she's looking at me strangely. I said, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that we could be here at this time? She said, well, first of all, I knew we would be here. That's what she said. First of all, I knew this was coming. And second of all, how do you know you in my wildest dreams? Look, I want to thank my fellow speakers who are making this celebration so special. To Ann and Jimmy, your fathers, Governor Linwood Holton and Till Hazel, were giants among us. And please give it up. As you all have seen in the presentations, they were pivotal to the creation and advancement of George Mason University. And so, while they were pivotal to that advancement, and and the great things that we've accomplished, we are so sorry that they did not quite make it to experience this celebration. But I know their spirits are in the room. I can feel it. And I know many of you can feel it as well. You know, I also want to acknowledge those who came before me as president. As I've went through and studied the history, I know that each one of them took the reins of leadership on this campus, and they did their part to build Mason into the university it is today. Those individuals include Lauren Thompson, Virgil Dykstra, Robert Krug, George Johnson, Alan Merton, Angel Cabrera, and of course, Ann Holton. So we are here to celebrate Mason at 50, a half century to the exact day when the George Mason College of the University of Virginia became George Mason University. On April 7th, 1972, George Mason College was in the middle of a deep identity crisis. This was Mason, but it was also part of the University of Virginia. It was created to serve the people of Northern Virginia, but it was managed out of Charlottesville. Civic leaders wanted it to grow into a great university, but they lacked the leadership support and the political backing to do so. If you look at the history of this campus, it was roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. But then came the stroke of Governor Holton's pen and the tireless work of a group of local citizens in Fairfax County who wanted to invent a place that was more than just a suburb of Washington, D.C. That group was led by Till Hazel, but it also included Sid Dewberry, John Toops, Earl Williams, Milt Peterson, Dwight Scharr, and many others. This institution is here because the community willed it to be here, and that is a big deal. There is one thing that 50 years has not changed, however, and that is the love and devotion of our original supporters and their families for Mason. They have given and given and given to help build this place. I want to make a little news right now, talking about giving. One of our original supporters, as I just mentioned, and one of our most ardent supporters over the years has been Sid Dewberry and his family. They have been with us from the very beginning, and they are still building, still moving Mason forward. I am thrilled to announce that on the occasion of Mason's 50th anniversary, Sid's son, Barry, and his wife, Arlene Evans, have made a tremendous financial commitment to transform the Center of the Arts here on the Fairfax campus. Where's Rick? Where's Rick? There he is. Their support ensures that it will be a mecca for the performing arts in Northern Virginia for generations to come. This generous gift honors what the center has been and puts the vision of what it can be into clear focus, a platform for inspiration, connection, and community. The Dewberrys could not be here today, but please, let's give them a big thank you for their continued and generous support. Our champions have always been there for us. They brought us from uncertain beginnings to today. They never gave up on us, even when the more traditional powers in Virginia originally said that this region did not need and should not get a university of any sort. Carpetbaggers from the north is what they called us. They were there for us when those powers would later say we should not grow and crowd other universities in the Commonwealth. It is a really good thing that our champions were stubborn, because they didn't take wait your turn or maybe next year for an answer. Over time, they supported Mason's growth into America's #1 university under 50 years old, and I still got about 45 minutes left before I can continue to say that. They supported the youngest ever university to reach R1 research status in the country. And they supported Virginia's largest, most diverse, and most innovative institution. Now, you don't come this far this fast by being like the others. You actually have to be just a little different. In fact, over the last 50 years, we have shown 4 characteristics that make Mason what it is today: our diversity, our inclusivity, our grit, and our audacity. They make us different than the others. So you might as well just start calling us different, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. First and foremost, our student body is the most diverse, and our diversity extends beyond race and ethnicity. In fact, we are the sum of our diversity of origin, identity, circumstance, and thought. Oh, sure, other schools like to tell you about their diversity, but no university in Virginia is diverse as Mason. And believe me, no university, none, will have the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter School sitting right next door to the Anton Scalia School of Law. It just won't happen. Our diversity allows us to see the world more completely and more creatively. Your education at Mason is better because of you and because of all of you together. So just call us a little bit different. Second, we set the standard for inclusivity because we don't like barriers, because we believe education is a lifeboat of opportunity that is supposed to have room for everyone. That is why we are so proud to accept 90% of those who apply to Mason and then graduate them at rates far exceeding the national average. Right? That's a big deal. And we do this with comparable rates of academic performance amongst all demographic groups. That's a big deal. That is how education is supposed to work. You know, the modern expectation of universities is to promote how many students they actually exclude and how hard it is to enroll in the hope that it would add value to you going to their campus. We take a different view. We want to be known for the students we include and how well our alumni do when they graduate. It is why we have established the Mason Virginia Promise, which is a pathway towards an advanced degree or your own business for every single Virginian, and I mean for every single Virginian that wants it. And not only are we putting that program in place, but we are going to do it by meeting 100% of the need of every individual that comes through that program. Now, is there another institution in Virginia that can do that? I can tell you the answer is no. So just call us a little bit different. Do you know what else we've always had? And what our students are? They are full of what we call grit. Every one of us worked hard to get here. Many of us overcame bias and barriers along the way. When the idea of a college in Northern Virginia first surfaced in the 1940s, believe me when I tell you that certain people just didn't want us here. When it came time to grow, people tried to stop us. They didn't want us to diversify or build residence halls or expand our academic programs. Being the young upstart university, we've always had to fight for everything we've earned. But look at us now. Back in the day, we used to say, "How you like me now?" Look, grit has served us well. Students, I know you know what I'm talking about. Grit got you here. Grit is what is getting you through. A fourth of you are the first in your family to go to college. You might be fresh out of high school. You might be fresh out of the military. There is a place for you here. You might still be working. You might actually be raising your own family. There is a place for you here. You might be a lifelong learner. There is a place for you here. You might be anybody. There is a place for you here. And we wouldn't have it any other way. So just call us different. And finally, we have the audacity. We dream big. We act on our dreams. We are impatient to tackle humanity's grand challenges, and we are not waiting for permission to act. The future's threats and opportunities demand fearless leaders like all the people of Mason who dare ask, why not us and why not now? Audacity got us the engineering program another university didn't want us to create. Audacity got us the law school that the state didn't want us to have. Audacity got us the state's first school of computing and the nation's first cybersecurity engineering program. Hey, Lamar, what got us to the Final Four? Audacity. We believed in ourselves. Just maybe a little bit of audacity. Look, so just call us different. As we look to our second half century, where do we go from here? It helps to envision the world we are preparing our students to enter. It is getting more diverse, more technology driven, more crowded, more affected by climate conditions. Our job is to keep pace with that change. That tireless drive to repair the world of today and build the world of tomorrow is truly what unites us all. And we are going to change because together we will be the ones who actually change it. So call us different because we are. We are all together different.
call us different because we are. We celebrate different. We are fueled by different. Different in where we come from, how we think, but the same in our dreams for tomorrow. Merging different points of view to create new ideas, different solutions, an unheard of opportunity. We are united in tackling the most pressing challenges the world has ever faced. We are driven by the pull of possibility, to think fearlessly, to inspire, to protect, and to heal the planet. To question what if, why not? You with me? These are our rallying cries. We know the world will change because together we will be the ones who change it. So yeah, call Mason different. Altogether different.
Welcome to the next 50. Thank you all.
Thank you, President Washington. Thank you for that amazing speech, and thanks to the team who put together that amazing video. I think I want to come here, or give money here, or do whatever that video wants me to do. I'm going to do it because it was so good. It has been my honor and my pleasure and my privilege to serve as your MC for this momentous occasion. It goes without saying that what we've accomplished in these 50 years is nothing short of remarkable, and the possibilities for the next 50 are endless. Thank you for celebrating with us today. Now, I want to remind you that at 2 p.m. right here in this atrium, Pulitzer Prize nominated journalist Russ Banham will offer a presentation that pays tribute to Mason's rise from a humble university to a global powerhouse. You are all welcome and encouraged to join us. Immediately following this program, there is lunch, there is music, and there is fun promised in the back of the atrium in honor of the 50th anniversary and Mason Vision Day. Mason Vision Day, what a good idea. Mason Vision Day, just a reminder. Now, please welcome back to the stage the Green Machine's own Doc Nix, who will lead us in the fight song. Get it right this time.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. 1 second. So when the fight songs happen, one of my requests is, and it's a request, if you're able and prefer to, stand, if you can. But we also need this to happen right here. Yep, I got it. You're gonna be famous. All right. There's a lot of clapping, so clap along. We got that video queued up. Let's do it. I think we got it. find some lunch, folks.